Welcome to week 7 of 602. Let's begin with a review of what happened in week 6. First, I want to thank all of you for your participation on our Necessity of Problems discussion forum. On this forum, I gave you a few prompts and asked you to consider why problems were necessary for the ADDIE model and the ADDIE process, why problems are the origin of all ISD projects, whether or not you had considered that before, and then the benefits and risks of starting with analysis when we do work in ISD. And there were some awesome responses here. It was really interesting for me to go through and read your thoughts on this, the different ways you thought to answer it. But really fascinating stuff. And most of our work here in 602 is public for a reason. I believe we can all learn from each other. So as and if you're able, I recommend you come on over to the forum and read through the posts that your colleagues made to see how they answered that question. And if there's anything from their thinking that you might want to borrow or incorporate into your own understanding of why we need problems to do this work. I do want to just pause on one post in particular. This was Charlie's post, and he offered, that problems are not always necessary for ISD. We're not always trying to fix something that's broken. Sometimes we're trying to capitalize on opportunity, right? Sometimes we're trying to do more of what's working, do more of what might be different or better, incorporate innovation. And I really appreciated that perspective, and it gave me a lot to think about for how I positioned the prompts. Talking about problems is very leading. It's very negative, and sometimes ISDs are engaged, or we set out to teach or train or design a learning event, not because things are broken, but we simply want them to be better, or we want to do things differently. So Charlie, thank you for that. If you're able, I recommend everyone just go take a look at his post. Lots to think about there. All right, last week also, I want to thank all of you for your contributions to the learner analysis assignment. This is the first time I ever gave this assignment, and I really wasn't sure what to expect. So when I went over this morning and started reviewing these, I was so pleasantly surprised, indeed a bit overwhelmed at how amazing your work was. So thoughtful, so thorough. Everyone approached it slightly differently, but there was so much even for me to learn in how you did this assignment. So again, all of our work is public for a reason. Strongly recommend that you come spend some time reviewing the portfolios and just seeing what you can learn from each other, approaches you might want to take or borrow in your own work, ways to think about how to do a population analysis that you wouldn't already have considered, and really just enrich yourself through the community learning that's available to us here. A few portfolios that I just want to call out quickly. Lasciante, your analysis, I had to go sit down for a brief moment after I saw this because it was just so thorough and impressive. There was no stone left unturned here. So folks, if you want to see what it looks like at a really granular level to do this level of analysis, pop on over here and take a look. It's an exceptional array of all of the data that was available on this audience, and one way to organize it so that it becomes consumable. So maybe stop over there and take a look. I also really liked, sorry, that's my dog. The way AJ approached the work. He did a brief table here, and I found that really compelling. When I was scrolling through, I could digest this very quickly. I understood how he was organizing his thinking, and I was able to draw these patterns and characteristics out very quickly using this chart or this table. I always find that to be a very simplistic way to organize information. Simplistic in how it is presented, but it requires a very technical and advanced understanding of the data. So AJ, I really appreciated that example as well. And there is one more. I think it was Kim's. Give me a second. It was Katie's. Katie also used a chart. This is a learner analysis worksheet that she, the citation for which she provides for you here. So I also recommend taking a look at each other's work, if for no other reason that many of you posted the citations and links to other resources that you went and found on your own. So this was another really cool worksheet, simple as a way to think about how to organize the data you were collecting. Katie did a really nice job with that. So go ahead on over, take a look at each other's work. There's a lot to be seen there. I want to pause on one more. I think it was Sheila. It wasn't Sheila, I'm sorry, it was Sabrina. Give me a second. Sabrina, in her recommendations, made this recommendation: more learning opportunities in instructional design software. So many of you made that recommendation as well. This notable interest and curiosity and gap in technology and software. I'm sorry, we won't be covering that in this course, but there's other opportunities in the program. But then she goes on to recommend hands-on experience with the ADDIE model and the opportunity to develop some sample training and materials. So just like I posted in the comment section here, it's really, really good news because you are already, believe it or not, working hands-on with the ADDIE model. This population analysis that you did is a big A. It's the big A of the ADDIE model. And this whole study of problems is also the A of the model. So it might not feel like it, but we're in it already. We are in the ADDIE model. We are in the A. And what happens this week might seem somewhat curious because we're moving from analysis to evaluation. Now, that doesn't mean that we're never going to talk about design development or implementation. But to me, the straightest line in your thinking right now should go from analysis to evaluation. And here's why. Evaluation is a way to examine and measure the degree to which your training solved the problem it was intended to address. So we just spent 2 weeks in analysis thinking about problems, what's presenting, who's here, what do they need to learn, what do they want to learn, what gaps do they have. So our thinking on analysis is fresh to inform our evaluation strategies. So we are going to move straight from A to E here in week 7. There's a lot of readings for you. 2 are provided in the ebook. The rest are linked for you here. And we're just going to start a conversation around what evaluation is, the most common model of evaluation, which is Kirkpatrick's. It has 4 levels. How you measure things, like measure what matters, not what's immediately measurable, and really just kind of sophisticate our understanding and our fluency in evaluation. We are evaluating what we have analyzed. And so we aren't skipping design development and implementation. We're just connecting our thinking while it's fresh. Your evaluation strategy, which will include all 4 levels of Kirkpatrick's evaluation model, is a component of your design plan. So all of the work you've done on your audience analysis and all of the work that you're doing on evaluation gets absorbed into your design plan, which we will begin when we get back from spring break. This week, we're going to focus on evaluation, Kirkpatrick's model in particular. And if just by way of crash course on Kirkpatrick, he says there's 4 things you evaluate after a training. The first thing is level 1. Level 1, reaction. Did they like it? How did they react? Did they like it? And we've all taken a level 1 evaluation at some point in our lives for something. It's a smile sheet, right? Level 1, reaction. How did they react? Did they like it? Level 2, did they learn? Did they meet the learning objectives? Did they demonstrate mastery or comprehension of what the course taught? Did they learn? Level 2. Level 1, how did they react? Level 2, did they learn? Level 3, some call it behavior, some call it transfer, some call it application. Level 3, did what they learned change the way they perform? Did they go out and do something differently or better as a result of what they learned? Did it transfer? Did what they learn in a classroom or in an e-learning transfer to the workplace where that problem exists or that opportunity presented? Level 1, did they like it? Level 2, did they learn? Level 3, did they change the way they behave or perform? And level 4, results. Did it impact the organization? Did it yield the intended result? Did we close the gap in performance? Did we capitalize on the opportunity as a result of what they learned and how their behavior changed? That's Kirkpatrick, the essence of Kirkpatrick. Did they like it? Did they learn? Did they change their behavior? Did it impact results? And that's why we're moving straight from analysis to evaluation, because all of that's fresh in your mind. It'll become clearer as you go through the reading. The only assignment to post this week is a discussion forum on why training fails. And there's prompts here for you. This is a link from ATD Press provided to you. So do all of the readings, think through the prompts, post to the discussion forum. If you have any questions, please ask. We have 1 week until spring break, and we're rolling right into it. So great work on all of your learner analysis and necessity of problems work that we did in the big A of the ADDIE model. This week, we're going to pivot our thinking to the end of the model, to evaluation. We're going to go on spring break, and then we're going to come back and pick up with design. Thanks for making the choice to be here.